Yes, welcome back everyone to the last theory section of this chapter 5.5 theory C, which is all about inversely proportional relationships, which is kind of a spoiler what it is, because we're going to discuss what it is in this small exercise right here. It takes 2 workers 8 hours to paint a house. How many hours would 4 workers need to paint the house? Okay. This looks like some kind of ratio at first, but watch out that you don't make a common mistake here. Please don't say, well, 2 workers need 8 hours, when if I have twice the workers, it would also take twice as long to paint a house. Hopefully you will hear the mistake, which I'm saying right now, right? 2 times as many workers in this case doesn't mean twice the time needed. No, 2 times less time needed. So instead of needing 8 hours to paint a house, I can now say I need 8 divided by 2. I only need 4 hours to paint the house. And that's something different than proportionally, a proportional relationship, right? Where we had 2 times as many, 2 times as many. Here we have 2 times as many, 2 times less. So how many hours would 16 workers need to paint the house? Well, we start with 2. For 2 we need 8. From 2 to 16 workers, how many more workers do I have? 8, right? So 8 times as many workers in this case means 8 times less time needed, so 8 divided by 8. They would complete this task in only 1 hour. And if I make a table of this, it looks a bit the same as a ratio table, but normally in a ratio table, if I do 2 times 2, I do times 2 as well, and that's not the case here, right? So this is not a ratio table. Times 2 means now divided by 2. Times 4 means divided by 4. And if I do divided by 16 right here, I do times 16 on the other side. And this is what we call an inversely proportional relationship, or in Dutch, omgekeerd evenredig. Proportional was evenredig, inversely proportional is omgekeerd evenredig. And you see it in the table right here. Twice as much means the other thing becomes twice less, divided by 2. If I divide by 4 here, I do times 4 here, and if I do times 5 here, I divide by 5 here. Right, and that's also what they explain right here. When this happens, we say that the number of people is inversely proportional to the number of days. The table for inversely proportional relationships shows an interesting property. You can see it right here. And this comes, they ask about this in a few exercises, I think, that if I multiply the two things, so here 12 people and 10 days, I find always the same product. Remember, a product is things times each other, right? Product is dingen keer elkaar. 12 times 10 is 120. Remember, if I have twice as many people, I need twice less days, so times 2 divided by 2. 24 times 5 is still 120 though. 4 times less, 4 times as many, but 6 times 20 is still 120. 5 times as many divided by 5, but 30 times 4 is still 120. That product is always the same, right? And that's the case in inversely proportional relationships. Certainly not in proportional relationships, right? If I quickly go back here, 4 times 5 gives me 20. Well, it's certainly not the same as 2 times 2, 50. That's only 5. And it's certainly not the same as 1 times 1.25. So that's a property that's not there in proportional relationships. Als ik evenredigheid heb, dan is dat product niet hetzelfde. Bij omgekeerd evenredigheid dus wel. 12 times 10 is 120. 24 times 5 is 120. Yada, 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 yada. So here they give you two properties. Ze geven je twee eigenschappen, twee dingen die waar zijn over omgekeerd evenredigheid. If you make one of them 2 times 3 or 2, 3, 4 times as big, then the other becomes 2, 3, 4 times as small. And the other property is multiplying the two amounts always results in the same product, and that's given right here. Okay? Again, try to do the exercise yourself. I will upload a video explaining one of the exercises about 5.5c as well. Good luck, practice enough, and write down your intermediate steps, please. See you another time.